My name is Daniel Carter, 45 years old, a construction project manager in Orlando, Florida, pulling in a steady $85,000 a year. Nothing flashy, but enough for a decent life in our modest three-bedroom house on Pinewood Lane in College Park. I thought I had it all figured out until 10 months ago when my world turned upside down. I met my wife, Sophia, at an art gallery downtown in 2015. She was stunning, ambitious, and came from old Florida money, the kind that builds gated communities and owns half of Palm Beach. Her family, the Harrisons, never hid their disdain for me. I was the son of a bricklayer and a nurse, blue-collar trash, in their whispered conversations. Sophia's father, Edward Harrison, made it clear I'd never be good enough for his precious daughter. Her mother, Evelyn, would barely look at me, and her older brother, Nathan, a smug 42-year-old CEO of their family's real estate empire, once told Sophia, "You could do better than a glorified handyman." We married in December 2016 after a year of dating. The Harrisons insisted I sign a prenuptial agreement in their lawyer's sleek office on Magnolia Avenue. Edward called it just business, Daniel, to protect family assets. His smirk said otherwise. Evelyn whispered to Nathan, "He'll never touch our money," as I signed. Love makes you do stupid things, and I was head over heels for Sophia. The prenup seemed simple. Their pre-marriage wealth stayed theirs, mine stayed mine, and anything we gained together, like prizes or winnings, was marital property, per Section 4.2. I didn't think twice. I just wanted her. For 8 years, our marriage was solid. Sophia worked part-time at an art gallery, earning $26,000 a year, more for passion than need. We talked about kids, maybe a bigger house, normal couple stuff. But the Harrison shadow loomed. Nathan would drop by unannounced, urging Sophia to upgrade her life. Evelyn sent her articles about marrying up. I ignored the red flags, thinking love would outlast their snobbery. I was wrong. If you're into stories of betrayal, greed, and sweet justice, stick around. This one's a roller coaster. Was I wrong to fight for what was mine? You tell me. Everything changed on a humid Tuesday morning in October 2024. Sophia had been playing the same lottery numbers for years, a mix of family birthdays and anniversaries. She'd always laugh. "These numbers will make us millionaires someday, Daniel." That day, they did. $12 million. After federal taxes, Florida doesn't tax lottery winnings. It came to $8.1 million. I stood in our kitchen on Pinewood Lane, staring at the winning ticket from the Wawa gas station on Colonial Drive, bought with our joint debit card. It felt unreal. Sophia was screaming, jumping, calling her parents on her cell. "We're rich, Daniel," she shouted, throwing her arms around me. For 10 glorious minutes, I thought our dreams had come true. That night, the Harrison clan descended on our house like vultures. Edward and Evelyn, Nathan, even their snobby Aunt Beatrice, who usually acted like I was invisible. They popped champagne, toasted to new beginnings, and planned Sophia's future without me. The air shifted. Sideways glances, conversations that stopped when I walked in. Nathan smirked, clinking glasses with Sophia a little too intimately. I brushed it off as paranoia, but something gnawed at me. Over the next few days, Sophia changed. She took long, secretive calls with her family, whispering in the guest room and locking her phone when I came near. When I asked about our plans for the money, she dodged. "We need to be smart, Daniel," she'd say. "My father knows financial advisors. We have to protect our windfall. Our windfall." That word felt hollow. 3 weeks later, on November 2nd, 2024, Sophia sat me down in our living room. Edward and Evelyn were there, perched like royalty on our thrift store couch. Nathan leaned against the window, smirking. "Daniel," Sophia said, her voice cold and rehearsed, "we need to talk about our situation." Edward cleared his throat. "Son, this lottery changes things. Sophia's windfall needs protection," I cut in. "Our windfall. We're married. What's hers is mine, and what's mine is hers." Silence. Evelyn shot Edward a look. Nathan chuckled, muttering, "Not quite, buddy." Sophia finally spoke. "Daniel, I think we should separate. This money, it's mine." I picked the numbers. I bought the ticket. I felt like I'd been gut punched. "What are you saying, Sophia?" Her eyes didn't meet mine. "I want a divorce. And I want you out." Today, Edward leaned forward, smug. "The prenup you signed protects Sophia's winnings as separate property." "You're not entitled to a dime," Evelyn added. "You were never family, Daniel. Just the help. 8 years of marriage, and they were tossing me out like garbage the second real money hit. Sophia's spending spree had already started. $87,000 on a BMW X5, a $750,000 deposit on a waterfront condo in Winter Park, shopping sprees at the mall at Millennia, all with our joint account money. "So, this was planned," I said, voice steady despite the rage. Sophia snapped, "Nobody planned anything. But I'm not letting you leech off my fortune." Nathan grinned. "Time to upgrade, sis." I grabbed my duffel bag. "Fine. I'll pack." They looked relieved, thinking I'd roll over. They had no idea what they'd unleashed. That night, November 2nd, 2024, I checked into an extended stay America on International Drive, shelling out $115 a night from my savings. I could have wallowed, but instead, I got to work. I called James Whitaker, the best divorce attorney in Central Florida, known for shredding high-profile cases. His consultation fee was $600, and his retainer was a steep $18,000. Money I scraped together by maxing out my credit card and dipping into my 401k. Best decision I ever made. The next morning, in Whitaker's office on Orange Avenue, I handed him the prenup from my filing cabinet. He read it slowly, his eyes lighting up at section 4.2. "Any assets, prizes, or winnings acquired during the marriage shall be considered marital property, subject to equitable distribution." He leaned back, grinning. "Daniel, this is gold. The Harrisons' own lawyer screwed them. This clause makes the lottery winnings ours." I nodded, but the betrayal still burned. "They said it's Sophia's personal property." Whitaker laughed. "They're wrong. Florida law and their own prenup say otherwise, but we need to play this smart." Then came the first bombshell. Whitaker hired a private investigator to dig into Sophia's sudden coldness. 2 days later, the PI delivered a gut-wrenching report. Sophia had been having an affair with her own brother, Nathan, for 2 years. Photos from a burner phone showed them at a hotel in Miami, arms around each other in ways siblings shouldn't be. Text messages, pulled from phone records, were worse. Nathan wrote, "Now we can be together without that loser holding us back." Sophia replied, "The money's ours, baby." "He's nothing. My stomach churned. This wasn't just betrayal. It was sick, twisted, beyond anything I could have imagined. The Harrisons' perfect family image was a lie, hiding a taboo that would make anyone's skin crawl. The PI uncovered more. Nathan had orchestrated the divorce push, convincing Sophia to claim the $8.1 million for themselves. Evelyn knew about the affair and covered it up to protect the family name. Edward played along, too obsessed with control to care. They saw me as a nobody, a working-class pest to be swatted away. Their plan was simple: kick me out, keep the money, and let Nathan and Sophia live their depraved fantasy with the jackpot. The Harrisons doubled down. Their lawyer, Bradley Kessler, a $950 an hour shark who thrived on protecting rich clients, sent me threatening letters. "Vacate any claim to the winnings, or we'll bury you in court," one read. They thought I'd fold. They didn't know I was just getting started. Whitaker smirked, reviewing the letters. "They're scared, Daniel. They know the prenup's a problem, and they're banking on intimidation." I felt a cold fire in my chest. "Let them try," I said. "They've already shown me who they are. Now it's my turn." By mid-November 2024, I was living out of that extended stay America on International Drive. But my focus was razor sharp. James Whitaker, my attorney, was building our case like a fortress. We documented everything. The lottery ticket purchase on October 8th, 2024, at 3:47 p.m. from the Wawa on Colonial Drive, paid with our joint Wells Fargo debit card. Years of Sophia's lottery purchases from the same account, going back to 2019, and her reckless spending spree, $87,000 on a BMW X5, a $750,000 deposit on a Winter Park condo, and $12,000 on designer bags at the mall at Millennia. She was burning through our money, posting it all on Instagram like a taunt. But the real ammunition was Florida Statute 61.075. Lottery winnings during marriage are marital assets, unless a prenup explicitly says otherwise. The Harrisons' own prenup, with its Section 4.2 clause, locked in my claim. "They handed you the keys to their kingdom," Whitaker said, almost laughing. Then came the second twist, and it was vile. In December, the Harrisons hired a private investigator to smear me. They didn't just want to win. They wanted to destroy me. Their PI fabricated evidence claiming I'd been inappropriate with children at a local playground. They staged photos of me near a park during a work break, paid a witness to lie about seeing me act suspiciously, and fed this to their lawyer, Bradley Kessler. Kessler filed motions painting me as a predator, arguing I was unfit for any settlement. This wasn't just greed. It was evil. Accusing an innocent man of something so heinous, knowing it could ruin my life, my career, my reputation. It's the kind of lie that makes your blood boil. The kind that shatters trust in fairness. They thought they could scare me into backing down. Whitaker was livid, but focused. He demolished their claims with work logs, proving I was on a construction site 20 miles away during their so-called incidents. Phone records showed no suspicious activity. Their witness crumbled under deposition, admitting they'd been paid $5,000 by Nathan. But the Harrisons didn't stop. Kessler kept pushing, filing motions to dismiss my claims, calling me a gold-digging opportunist in court documents. Sophia's spending got worse. She and Nathan took a $15,000 Bahamas trip, posting photos from a yacht, her arm around him in a way that made my skin crawl. Then a whisper of another bombshell. Whitaker's P. I caught wind of suspicious emails between Kessler and a courthouse insider. The Harrisons had tried to bribe Judge Patricia Henderson, a respected family court judge with 18 years on the bench, offering $100,000 through a middleman to rule in their favor. It was sloppy, encrypted emails, but not encrypted enough. Whitaker held this card close, waiting for the perfect moment. Through November and December, they tried to break me. Edward offered $1.2 million to walk away clean. Sophia showed up at my motel on December 10th, eyes red, begging. Take $3.2 million, Daniel. We can both start over. I was scared. Nathan and my parents got in my head. I looked at her, the woman I'd loved for 8 years, now a stranger tangled in her brother's sick grip. It's not about the money, Sophia, I said. It's about respect. She left sobbing. I felt nothing but a cold resolve. Nathan called the next day, voice dripping with venom. You're trash, Carter. We'll bury you. I hung up, thinking of their lies, their affair, their attempt to paint me as a monster. They'd crossed every line, and I was ready to make them pay. The final hearing on April 18th, 2025, at the Orange County Courthouse was a spectacle. Word of construction worker versus corrupt elite had spread, with WESH-2 and Fox 35 crews camped outside. I wore my navy blue Joseph A. Banks suit, the same one from my wedding to Sophia 8 years ago. The irony wasn't lost on me. Sophia sat with the Harrisons, Edward sweating through his Brooks Brothers shirt, Evelyn clutching her pearls, Nathan pale but defiant. Their lawyer, Bradley Kessler, whispered urgently, his $2,000 Armani suit wrinkled from stress. Judge Patricia Henderson, sharp and no nonsense, opened at 9 a.m. Case number 2, 025-DR000028-470, Carter versus Carter Kessler, went first, strutting like a peacock. Your Honor, Mr. Carter is a vindictive opportunist, trying to steal winnings his wife earned through her own luck. He rambled for 20 minutes, claiming the lottery was Sophia's personal property and the prenup didn't apply to unforeseeable windfalls. James Whitaker stood calm as ever. Your Honor, this is simple. The prenup, signed December 2016, Section 4.2, states any prizes or winnings during marriage are marital property. Florida Statute 61.075 agrees. The ticket was bought with marital funds, and Mrs. Carter commingled the winnings in our joint account. Then, the hammer dropped. Whitaker unleashed the twists. Your Honor, we have evidence of gross misconduct. Mrs. Carter engaged in a 2-year affair with her brother, Nathan Harrison. The courtroom gasped. Sophia sobbed. Nathan froze. Whitaker showed texts and photos, undeniable. Furthermore, the Harrisons fabricated claims of child abuse against Mr. Carter, paying a witness $5,000 to lie. Judge Henderson's eyes narrowed, furious. The final twist sealed their fate. Most disturbingly, Mr. Kessler and the Harrisons attempted to bribe this court with $100,000 to rule against my client. Whitaker presented the intercepted emails. Kessler stammered, "That's a misunderstanding." Henderson wasn't having it. Mr. Kessler, are you admitting to perjury and attempted bribery? The room went silent. Edward looked like he'd aged a decade. Evelyn was shaking. Whitaker laid out the evidence: bank records of joint lottery purchases, Sophia's $87,000 BMW, and $750,000 condo deposit from marital funds, Kessler's own November 18th filing admitting the ticket used marital money. Sophia's testimony was a disaster. Mrs. Carter, Whitaker asked, why deposit $7.2 million into a joint account if it was separate? She mumbled, I needed somewhere to put it. But you had a SunTrust account your husband never touched, with $63,000. Why not use that? She had no answer. At 2:15 p.m., Judge Henderson ruled, the prenup is unambiguous. Section 4.2 in Florida law confirmed the winnings as marital property. Mrs. Carter's commingling reinforces this. I award Mr. Carter 50% of the net winnings, $4.05 million, plus $1 million in punitive damages for the defendant's egregious false accusations and attempted bribery. The gavel slammed. Sophia wailed. Nathan stormed out. Outside, I told a Channel 9 reporter, justice feels damn good. By June 2025, the dust settled. I used my $5.05 million settlement to buy a small construction company from a retiring contractor in Orlando. Carter Construction now employs 38 people, building affordable housing across Central Florida. Every day, I walk onto job sites knowing I turned their betrayal into something real, something good. Sophia and the Harrisons, they crumbled. Sophia sold her BMW, returned the Winter Park condo deposit, and liquidated her designer wardrobe to pay me. She's back at her father's real estate office in Winter Garden, earning $42,000 a year, a far cry from her yacht days. Nathan was fired from the family business, facing investigations for fraud and his sick affair with Sophia. Edward and Evelyn's pristine reputation is in tatters. Whispers of corruption and scandal follow them everywhere. They haven't spoken to me since, which suits me fine. They showed their true colors when they tried to throw me away like trash. It wasn't about revenge. It was justice. The Harrisons' own greed, their twisted lies, their prenup, built the weapon that destroyed them. I just had the spine to use it. Sometimes the elite learn the hard way. Money can't buy morality. If you enjoyed this story, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me, was I wrong to fight back? Hit that notification bell for more stories like this.